and truly Mr. Lazer, and this is Lazer LFC TV. Now, I want to touch on a few points from yesterday's game. Liverpool 1, Manchester City 4. Manchester City's first victory at Anfield since 2003 in the Premier League. Well, Liverpool have been on they've been on a run of bad form for the last 6 weeks or so. It all stemmed from that 1-1 draw at Anfield to West Bromwich Albion. Now what's happening is a lot of teams are coming to Anfield and they're parking the bus, they're putting 11 men behind the ball, and Liverpool are finding it very hard to break them down. That's not the case with City, because we all know Man City's the top team, but Liverpool are also struggling with scoring goals. They're really struggling with scoring goals and creating. Now they've had there's been a lot of factors involved in Liverpool's demise this season. The injuries and the demise of our centre-backs. Virgil van Dijk's been ruled out for the season, picked up an injury back in October, and Gomez as well, Joe Gomez. Now we know the situation, Liverpool fans will know the situation with Joe Matip. He's always a few games away from picking up an injury, what rules him out for weeks on end, to the point where there's no point even considering him for the entire season. It's just not manageable. So what concerns me is our owners knew we was in this situation, especially going back to the summer. We sold Javen Lovren and we didn't have a replacement. We should have had a replacement lined up, a senior centre-back, somewhere in the cheap, somebody in the early 30s, somebody from the Bundesliga, someone like basically Ragnar Klavan, just someone to just be a stopgap solution. But then we've had to rely on youth players with no experience. For example, Reece Williams, he was playing in the Conference League this time last year, so that pressure to put on him is not right. To be thrown in the melting pot and thrown in high magnitude games, is not good for him, especially for his confidence and his growth. He needs to be eased in. And then we've got a player like Nathaniel Phillips, as we call him, Nat Phillips. He's been thrown in as well. Now, he hasn't been deemed good enough to play for Liverpool's kind of surplus to requirements, to be honest with you. He's been on numerous loans. He's 23 years old. He has not really got a look in until literally we've been on our last legs and we've had to use him this season. To be fair, when we have used him, he's actually made a good account of himself. He's very good aerially and he's got a good physical presence as well, but he lacks a lot of pace to play in this Liverpool side, especially how the way Liverpool play with the high line. Now, we've had to play midfielders there. Fabinho's had to play there. Henderson's had to play there. Now that takes away their importance in the midfield. So Liverpool has lost out in that case. It's just been one big mess. And, I'm quite angry with FSG to put Jurgen Klopp in this position. We left it late to get 2 replacement centre-backs. We got one from Preston, Ben Davies, and we got one from the Bundesliga, from Schalke 04, Kabak. But they need time to bed in and gel, to be honest with you. We left it to the last day of the transfer window, which isn't good enough. We should have got this rectified. We should have literally had a replacement, at least one replacement, lined up on the 1st of January. And when you go back to 6 weeks ago, when Liverpool beat Crystal Palace 7-0 away at Selhurst Park, Liverpool were top of the league by 4 points, and it's just been a big downturn in that space of time. Going back onto the Man City game, we controlled certain parts of the game. I don't know if it was a tactic Man City done for us, where it was sort of let Liverpool have the ball and see what they can do with it, because we have struggled to create lately, and a lot of teams know this now, so they're just hitting us on the counter attack. They only need a few chances and they're in. So I don't know if that was part of their attack, because they didn't have as much of the ball as they usually do. There were spells that had the periods where they had the ball, but then there was a period when we was dominating, well, controlling the possession. And that was probably 10 minutes before half-time, after they missed their penalty. Their head sort of dropped and we had control of the ball, but we just didn't do anything with it in the final third. Second half, they got the goal. Alisson wasn't up to scratch. He parried it out. A shot. I'm not sure who took the shot, but he's parried out the shot. And then it fell to Ilkay Gundogan, and he's got the rebound and scored. And then we hit back. Salah got through, tried to make things happen. He made a breakthrough in the box. He got past Diaz. You know, rare mistake from Ruben Dias, because he's been very good for Manchester City since he signed. And we got a penalty, and I thought, yes, we got a reprieve. We can at least get the minimum, a draw out of it. Salah scored his penalty. You know, never in doubt. And things happened after that. Jurgen Klopp kind of dropped the bollock. He took Curtis Jones off, which I thought was making things happen. You know, Thiago, I think, was the right sub to make for Shaq, because Thiago was having a bit of a mare yesterday, and it was an accident waiting to happen. It was on a yellow card, and the way he was diving in, you know, he could have got himself sent off. But I don't believe bringing Milner on was kind of like waving the white flag for me. It was almost like saying, you know what, we're just going to take this draw here, shut up shop. But it just didn't work. We just fell to pieces. Man City got another goal through a calamity of mistakes through Alisson. I don't know what he was doing, trying to kick it out, putting the defence under pressure, you know, with his passing out from the back. And he did it twice. And from when the third goal went in, you know, the players' heads dropped, and you knew it was over. Man City was going to get their victory, the first victory since 2003. I thought, yeah, this is over. And then to make matters worse, Foden gets another, makes it 4-1. Beautiful goal, to be honest with you. And then, you know, that's dead and buried, and it was just about damage limitation from there. And yeah, so we lost. So that's 3 consecutive defeats on the bounce at Anfield. That's unheard of. First time apparently since the 1960s, before my time. You know, so we're in a bad run of form at the moment. We're in a pickle, and we've got to rectify this, because my main worry now is, can we stay in the top 4? We've got teams breathing down our necks like Everton, West Ham, Leicester City are looking great, a great shout for top 4 this year. I think Man United and Man City are obviously dead certain. That's 2 spaces. Tottenham are a bit of a mess. So it's going to be really hard. And who knows, maybe we can make a run in the Champions League. It's not impossible, you know, because Liverpool's done it before in 05. I don't want to keep going back to the past. We've seen other teams do it when they've had bad league form and they've done well in the Champions League, because it's a knockout competition. It might actually suit Liverpool, you know, because teams will come at us and play football. You know, our Achilles heel this season has been where teams have put 11 men behind the ball and we struggle to break them down. But I just think Liverpool need a big reset, and we just go again next season. You know, it's just been a big mess. The COVID situation hasn't helped. A lack of a pre-season, the pandemic, injury after injury. It's just been one of those crazy seasons. Also the fans not being there. And we just got to go again next season. So, yeah, that was a short little video for myself, Mr. Lazer. Hope you like that. You know, keep the like, share, and don't forget to sub as well. Peace, I'm out.